This is The Balance.
We are literally in a storage closet. Yes, we are. And now you'll hear some laughter because it's true. Hey, my name is Tony Repick. I'm the chaplain here at the 111th, and this is an exciting opportunity for us to pilot a podcast that we want to help our citizen warriors balance their part-time military career with their civilian life. So, hey, look, we're calling it The Balance because we're not referring to equal attention to the things that's important in our lives, but rather appropriate attention to what matters most to make us successful. So what we're going to do is make an attempt to provide insight and practical takeaways for you, the citizen warrior, by bringing in experts, which I have one right here with me. We're going to introduce him in a minute, but I'll just tell you his name. His name's Rock, and he has tons of experience. I'll let him share that just in a moment. But what we're trying to do is aim around a theme around the four components of fitness, and that's physical, spiritual, mental, and social. So again, we're going to focus on a theme each month, have a good discussion, hopefully drop some things in your toolkit to make you successful as a citizen warrior. So I'm not going to say much else here because I want to get into a great conversation with my buddy here, Rock. So Rock, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first I got to say I love what you've done with the closet. I mean, it's just beautiful in here.
Isn't the color great on the wall?
Yeah, it's a little tight, but very doable. So I've been in the military almost 28 years, and roughly 20 of those years I've spent as a traditional guardsman. So I'm hoping today that I can offer some insight into balancing life as a traditional guardsman.
So as our host, Andrea, you brought a guy in here that only has 28 years. And 20 years.
I know. I'm sorry, sir. I'll do better next time.
Okay. All right. So what I'm gathering already is you have a lot of experience here. And so that's what we're hopeful that you can share, so that today's theme is readiness or being prepared for the war fight. Okay. So how in the world do these new airmen come in, or even more seasoned airmen that are struggling right now, walk into a drill weekend? So let's talk about just preparation to what a drill weekend looks like.
Yeah, I think for me during the traditional years, there's the challenges of balancing multiple things, balancing that family, balancing that civilian job, and balancing the commitment to the military. So it's certainly not easy, but there are approaches that you could take to help navigate that. And I think part of that is preparation. I mean, for me, it was always, talking to my supervisor on a previous drill weekend. Hey, what's our objectives for the next drill weekend? Making sure that I was communicating to my wife and children. Okay, Dad's not going to be around for this particular weekend.
So tell your family the dates of your drill, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We used to just post it right on the refrigerator there, so so that my wife had full essay on the upcoming drill weekend, and any of those family dynamics would have to probably shift around the drill weekend. But that drill weekend previous to the upcoming drill weekend, my big thing was trying to communicate with my supervisor to understand what the expectations were, say for, our next drill weekend is going to be March, so we're in February right now. I try to have that Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning conversation with him or her, just to say, hey, where are we at for March? What's happening? What do I need to do? Is there anything big? And almost approach it from a tactical and a strategic standpoint, just so I could understand what's upcoming.
That's excellent. And then so you do that, but then you go 4 weeks until you get together again. Right? And you got to be ready, though, for that weekend, because training's coming at you. All these things are flying at you. There's pressure on you to gain and climb rank and get schooling done. So talk about the lead-up time. What does that look like? So a week out, a week and a half out.
Yeah.
Do you do anything? You just sit on your hands and wait for your supervisor to fire emails to you, or what?
I do.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. So
yeah. Right. I think the lead-up time, having an idea of what's upcoming. It's so the challenge is doing those three pieces, right? The challenge is, okay, I'm dealing with my family, I'm dealing with my kids, dealing with any of those demands. I'm dealing with my civilian employer demands. So for the young airman, for that young NCO, having a plan actually helps.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about a week and a half lead up, understand what the demands are for those 7 days or 10 days leading up, and do your best to manage those. And again, emphasize communication, because that communication to your family members, to your civilian employer, are critical for the success of you going into that drill weekend. So I think the lead up for me is always try to stay focused on the day and the task at hand, understand what your goals and objectives for each day are, and then apply energy to that, and then just be prepared leading into the drill weekend. My routine is, uniform. After I got back from my civilian position, I have uniform out, I have boots out, I have all the accoutrements. Thank you. Yes,
I deal with words. It's kind of my thing.
Thank you very much. All the accoutrements that we need in my hat on the dining room table. So I have my military ID. I have the car keys. I have. Mm-hmm. So when I wake up on that Saturday morning and I eat that hearty breakfast, I'm just skipping out the door and heading in.
And I didn't hear you say this, but I'm gonna kind of poke fun a little bit here. So as a millennial, you're also saying, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and use the phone as a phone, right? Yeah. And not just rely on it as text messaging or emails when you're talking about communication, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're high tech, but we need to be high touch, because the reality is those human interactions and those conversations absolutely matter. I mean, texting is great for that quick information exchange. But at the end of the day, to our significant others, to our partners, to our children, to our civilian employers, and to our military team members, we just need to be having good conversations, so that we have full understanding of where we stand.
Yeah, just expectations. That's great. So we got that one down. So the first one was communication. We gotta be deliberate about that. Okay. So number two, what do you have? What's second?
I think second we're going to talk about mental and physical fitness, and we'll start with physical fitness because it's a direct link to your mental fitness as well. Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned earlier millennials. One thing just to note with millennials, probably the smartest group of people I've ever encountered, and they're a tremendous asset to us. That's right. From a wing standpoint. So we talk about this high tech. Sometimes we get a little hung up with high tech, whether it's, being out on the web, searching different topics or so forth. But, we have to manage ourselves. So we have to make sure that we put that PT, that physical fitness in place for us. So for me, from a traditional standpoint, it was know when to turn off the computer, know when to shut down the phone, know when to take the time. For me in the civilian world, it was lunchtime. I would take a walk in the park, take a run in the park, do push-ups, do sit-ups. And so that was my approach. It was a very tactical, low threat, not high goal approach to just staying in fitness, physically fit. Yeah. I was just on vacation in Mexico about 2 weeks ago, and for those 5 days that I spent at the resort.
It's a tough life.
Yeah, yeah.
Please, sir, continue.
I was doing push-ups and sit-ups, and I was hitting the gym. So it's just, PT is critical for the success of us as individuals with the military.
Well, it has benefit not only for our military careers, but doesn't it benefit us just in good general health anyway?
That's so as an 18 or 19-year-old troop, you're tasked with the PT piece, which was fun. And then as I fun, it's fun. Yeah. And then as I went through the years, into my 40s, like, oh boy, yeah, okay. But the reality is looking back is, I'm 56. I consider myself in excellent health, and it's only halftime for me. I mean, I'm going to 100. So I'm going to be the guy that breaks that pension bank, and I attribute that to the PT that I've been involved in over the last 28 years.
Yeah. So we have to look at physical readiness as something that's not just beneficial for our military career, but it's good for our own health too. So find some time. You're saying during work, even you know what I did at one point when I was working retail. I would drop down when no one was in the store and just do some push-ups.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy, but no one's here.
Yeah.
Throw some push-ups in real quick, and it helped me whenever I came on drill weekends.
Absolutely.
And so so one was communication. The second was the physical and mental fitness, because there's an overlap there. And what would you say the third one then? Again, for the citizen warrior to ensure that they're mission ready at all times for the war fight.
Yeah, I think for me, it was spirituality, and I think it centered around family and centered around my beliefs and my belief system, throughout my 20 years as a traditional guardsman, one of the things that's a part of my belief system is trying to believe in myself and trying to understand that as a young airman, as a young NCO, and now as an old senior NCO.
We call it seasoned, I think.
Yeah, there you go. I like that term much better.
Yeah, term for it. Yeah.
Again, words.
Okay.
I'm 2 for 2 now.
As that seasoned senior NCO, I think the believing in yourself and understanding that there are going to be challenges, mistakes, errors that are made, but there's going to be this beautiful goal reaching and success that you're going to have too, and to know not to go too hard on yourself, and to always understand to reach out if you're facing challenges or facing adversity, that you have a whole team here. Off to your left flank and your right flank stands your wingmen. And then the idea that as we navigate this adversity, which is part of life, or those challenges, that growth happens and that we become that more in tuned person. So that would be my advice: is always believe in yourself, and to always make sure you're trying to communicate out to folks if you run into struggles.
In that same, along those same lines. So I have 15 years experience in the military. Again, all traditional as well, and 14 of it's with the Army. So there's an Army ethic in me. Now I'm over here on the air side, which I'm enjoying, but one of the things.
We're not holding against you at all.
Yeah, please don't do that. Actually,
isn't it huh? Is it
it's
still huh?
It's huh. Yeah.
It?
Whoops.
Do you even know what that means?
It means whatever you want it to mean.
I heard that.
It means whatever you want it to mean.
We tried air power and it didn't work. Remember that for 5 seconds? We're going to say air powered everything, and it just
didn't work.
Yeah. But please, go ahead, sir.
No, so, we're always taught about taking care of yourself, you own your own career. And sometimes I think that we could internalize that so much that we become selfish, even though we have these values and this creed we live by. And again, the culture that we're in, especially the millennial culture, there's been this emphasis on, about them climbing fast, moving quick, gaining rank. But what about the wingman concept, the battle buddy concept, and helping each other out left and right? So you kind of mentioned that. Can you just speak on that for a minute with some of the experience you have?
Yes, sir. It's absolutely important to understand, as part of this organization, the whole strengthens us. So diversity within this wing is critical to mission success. But most importantly, it's that diversity that actually it's a treasure to each of us, in the sense that it offers us those people that have different experiences, different education levels, and just different challenges that they've had in their lives, that are off to our left and right flank as wingmen, that they can share and teach us. But moreover, we can actually engage them and understand, hey, what was it like when you went through that really hard time, and how did you do that? How did you navigate through that? So it's that shared diversity that we have that really just strengthens us as individuals within the wing.
And as the one who has to edit this later, I want to put this in. We were talking about the drill status guardsmen and the reservists. Do you think that there is a special diversity that we have, and nothing against our active duty counterparts whatsoever, but do you think there is something we bring in our diversity that gives us an edge?
I absolutely do. I think if you look at our local population, It's not only from this immediate region, but it's from states that are northern states, southern states, etc. People actually drive in to contribute to the mission here as a guardsman. But moreover, I think some of our task is actually to be worldwide ready and to be able to deploy globally at a moment's notice. So we know we hook up with Air Force Reserve. We know we hook up with the active duty in those events. And what the National Guard brings is that National Guard brings that skill set, that education, those experiences that are critical to deploying and then linking with our active duty and reserve counterparts and gelling as a team day one, boots on the ground, ready to roll. So for us, I think as a guard unit, we've been tasked more so over the last 10, 15 years than the other reserve component. Well, the Air Force Reserve. So, we're a highly experienced force, and we can offer a lot in those situations.
I've also seen in my experience when I deployed, it seemed that the gel camaraderie, communication, we were able to flex more and be a little more loose and fluid when it comes to changing your mission on moment's notice. Whereas the others somewhat struggle with that. Again, not a knock on them. It's just the citizen warrior mindset we have of the skills we bring from our civilian life actually play a role in our military life as well. And not to mention the hurricanes, natural disasters that happen on the homeland. So
they make you flexible.
Yeah, right. instead of having your rifle in your hand or whatever job you may have a shovel in your hand, throwing snow off of a highway somewhere, right? Or throwing a bag for a hurricane relief mission to keep water away from the house or home.
We're pretty awesome.
We are. We're pretty awesome.
We are pretty awesome.
So we don't even
we named the show to We're Pretty Awesome.
We're pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think our mission statement as a wing states that we are a ready resource for global engagement to serve the federal government when needed and to serve the Commonwealth in any type of civil challenges that our state may have. I think it's the population of this wing with the strengths that we have, with the people we have, and that's the key point is people matter. That airman matters, that NCO matters, those officers matter. With our diversity, I just think you used the term flex. We're able to flex forward and impact a mission immediately and make it successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rock, you shared a lot of great insight with us today. This has been great. I know the citizen warriors that are listening here are going to take something away from this. If anything, they're going to laugh about the color of the walls.
It's not that.
The beginning.
It's the holes.
Or the holes in the walls.
That, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll stop by with a plant, but I'm not sure it would survive
if you know
in
a
here.
guy,
Actually,
and it's getting a little hot and stinky here. We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up here, but I just want to quickly summarize just those 3 points again, because as folks are driving around or taking a snack break at work, whatever they're doing, they're able to listen in on this here. So one, you said communication is important. Do it as early as often and as frequently as necessary, which is you just find time you need to do it. High touch points. Second is the physical and mental fitness is super important. Invest in yourself because it's going to pay dividends beyond even your military fitness score for your time in the military. It can extend your life as well. And then that final one was that spiritual self-reflection, believing in yourself, growing, developing character, so that you then in turn could help your wingman, your battle buddy on the left and right of you. So did I get that?
You got all of it, sir. That was perfect summary.
Awesome, yeah. Well, you have a lot of experience, Rock, and again, just want to thank you for jumping in on this pilot here. We're calling it The Balance, but it might change names. Who knows? As we keep moving forward.
We're awesome.
We're awesome because we already are balanced. But no, this has been great. It's fantastic. I hope you guys gained something from this today. So you guys have a great day. See ya.